This is part two, the mechanical work I did to pass a safety inspection in British Columbia and the maintenance on a 2008 Suzuki Carry DA63-T with a K6A engine. The battery.
Well, we got the truck here, and it had been sitting in a lot in Japan for about 3 months, and then the ocean passage left us with a dead battery. They are really, really small on these trucks, and I found that a Group 51 battery fits directly in. Now, this is the 51S, which means the positive is on the right-hand side. The regular 51, Group 51, the positive is on the left side. But the problem is, these have standard SAE terminals, and the batteries from Japan have the pencil type terminal, and they're a smaller size, so you can either cut the ends off and then put an end on for standards, or you can use these kind of adapters they sell. They have them on Amazon. I just bought them at the battery shop. They were $7 each, and that'll just bolt right up. And here we are, and the new battery is installed. Now we'll just put the cover on.
Daytime running lights. First, you need to remove the front body panel. This is just clipped on with push fasteners. 3 on the top, 2 on the bottom, and 1 in each fender well. The headlight units have 2 push pins and one 10mm bolt on the top. All the connectors is shown. I used the front parking lights as my daytime running lights and changed to LED bulbs. This is the fuse block cover.
Okay, here we have, that's the accessories and the fuse block. And what I've done is I've tapped into that, and then I bring it down, and it goes back through the firewall back there. And it comes out of the firewall right here, and it's kind of hard to see, but it goes up and then down this loom. And this is a connector. This is the one that I had cut off for the parking lights, and they are now my daytime running lights. And they go to both sides like that.
Side lights. I bought a pack of LED side marker lights on Amazon. They use a 3/4 inch hole and fit loosely, so I used a dab of silicone to hold them in position. Wire that used to feed the front parking light has been cut and is instead connected to the side marker light.
Okay, this right here is the wire that comes up, and it used to go to the headlight to the parking light. And I cut that connector off, leaving a little bit of slack so I could go and reuse it. And I connected this, which is this tiny little side light. And this is the back of the truck. And the same thing, I've taken the tail light, I've spliced into it, and put the side light marker on.
Tires. Next, I'm going to talk about tires. Um, you have to have DOT approved tires in order to pass safety. As far as I can tell, the only Japanese tire allowed to be imported into Canada are truck tires 16 inches or larger. The DOT tires I found that I could get available in Canada and British Columbia were these ones, the radar tires, the 145 R12s and the 155 R12s. My old tires were pretty beat, so it wasn't a big deal. Um, some things to note that larger size tires may need wheel adapters, and they may affect your speedometer as you increase the diameter above 21 inches. The 12 inches are 8-ply, and they're rated as a truck, so you can load the truck up. Some of the bigger wheels are only 4-ply, but are you really going to load your truck up that much? Anyway, food for thought. Oil change. I changed the oil when I first got the truck. The oil plug is obvious on the oil pan. I used 10W30 and replaced the Suzuki filter with a Fram TG4967. These are used on Arctic snowmobiles. Rock Auto had the best prices when I bought them in bulk. Coolant. This is the bottom coolant drain with the plastic shield removed. There's a notch in the actual shield so you can drain it without removing it. I would recommend raising the front of the truck up about 12 inches. It makes the bleeding way easier. This is the top hose. It's a bleed. You just remove it, bleed it, and then push it back onto the pin and clamp it to replug the hose. On the back of the engine, on the passenger side, is the main bleed screw. Be very careful when you tighten this up. PCV valve. I replaced the PCV valve. The part number was 18118-65H00, and I got one on AliExpress for, I think it was $12 or $13. Spark plugs.
For the spark plugs, you got 8mm bolts for them. Take off the cover plate underneath. 10mm bolts. You pull out the coil boot, and then you reach down with a 5/8 socket, pull the sockets out, and these are the plugs right here for my particular vehicle. 3 of them that come pre-gapped.
Air filter. The air filter is a Suzuki part number 13780-81AA0. I got one on AliExpress, a knockoff, for about $17. Placing the radio.
Here we have the Japanese stereo. So you go and take a small pry tool and you pry this off. This whole little bezel will come off. And that reveals this underneath. And you take the 4 screws out and the stereo slides right out. Here's a stereo, slid it out. You see there's a connector right there. Ignition is white and black. Power is white. The light is the yellow and red, and black is ground. And it disconnects right here at the back, and the other side is the antenna. Here's the stereo. You got 2 screws on either side. This will slide right out. And these are the radios. There's about 4 or 5 different names. They're all the same radio from what I can tell. About 35 bucks on Amazon, and has the built-in speakers. So now what we've done is we've hooked it up just temporarily just to test it. So power, which is white, goes to yellow. The auxiliary, which is your key, goes to the red, and black is ground. And there it is. And I mean, it's kind of a tinny little radio, but married, and hey, it works, you know. So now I'm going to go mount it. Oh, there's the wiring. It's all loomed up, looks good. And I'm just sliding it in. Nice and easy. I just used actually a little bit of hot glue to hold the stereo in because it weighs absolutely nothing. So I'll just put the 4 screws in, and then we'll put the bezel back on. And there we are, the finished product. Looks okay.
That's it. That's the end. Hope it helps somebody. Thank you.